Or before we start these class and the slide decks, um, I'll just uh, lightly touch on my way of teaching. I really love engaging and making it more interactive. So please do not hesitate. If you have any question, if you have any comment, if you want to ask something or discuss something, please feel free to raise your hand, unmute your mic, just ask me the question, and that would be the best way to spend the time we can together today to actually help you understand. And that is also the only way we can differentiate it from a YouTube video, right? Because anyone can go to YouTube and watch a training, but how is this class different is you get to benefit from my experience. You get to ask a question that you have specifically in your mind, and I can give you a comment on that. So yeah, please do not hesitate. If you want to ask a question, feel free to ask it during the lesson. I will try to also monitor the chat in our Zoom, but just in case if I am in the flow, I'm not paying attention to the chat, feel free to unmute and or raise your hand to ask a question. All good. All right. I can see that one or two people are still joining. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone who has joined. We are just about to begin our class for today, and we'll just give one more minute for people to join in. Uh, and for in that 1 minute, if anyone wants to talk to me, if anyone wants to, if anyone has any question they want to ask in this class, please feel free to use this time. Yes, Samuel. Team, can we can the students unmute themselves, or do I have to give them permissions?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, good
Uh,
afternoon, Samuel.
so I just want to put in a request. Can we get the presentation for the lesson in
Yeah,
the chat box?
yeah, sure. So once we're done with the class, then I will share the slide deck with the staff, and then staff, can you inform the students how they will get the slide deck?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you can reach out to Antolia, and Antolia can give you the slide deck. But yeah, of course, you will get a copy of the slide deck. And even though we have a slide deck, like I said, uh, the difference between a YouTube video and a live class is we can tailor the live class based on the needs of the participants. So I want to restrict myself that I have this slide deck. I'm not going to talk like a robot from slide one until the last slide. No, we are going to tailor this experience to best accommodate you and to best serve your questions and your needs. So we can always stop the slide deck and go on to the internet if I want to if I need to explain to you something. So yeah, let the questions in your head bubble up. No, don't hesitate, and be very confident in asking your questions. All right, we are 2 minutes into our scheduled time. Now let me begin with my introduction. So everyone, is Mustafa. I have been in the industry for more than 18 years now. I started back in 2005, almost 18 plus years in the industry. Um, I started my career in computer networking. I used to be a trainer and instructor for Cisco CCNA course and Linux. So back in 2005, I used to teach Cisco CCNA and Red Hat Linux engineering. And I also spent my first part of the career in being a networking person. I used to work in an ISP, and I used to be a Unix and Linux administrator. And then back in 2005 to 2012, I pivoted into cybersecurity. And now for more than a decade, I have been specializing in cybersecurity. And believe me, the concepts that we are going to discuss in today's class, no matter what discipline in IT you are, you need the fundamentals always. Even if you are a web developer, even if you are a IT person, even if you work in, if you, even if you don't work anywhere, we will discuss that today, that just in our house, there is so much networking already in our house. So it's always helpful to understand how the Wi-Fi internet in your home is working, right? So everyone needs these skills these days. So yeah, that was a bit about me. Um, Now, like I said, uh, every one of us need the basic understanding of computer networking. What I've tried to depict in this AI generated image is that these days we have so many gadgets in our house, and every gadget is using networking. uh, the TV, the smart TV we have in our house is connected to the internet, right? Many of you would might be using your YouTube application on your TV. How is that working? Basic networking concepts. You have Wi-Fi router on the floor. You can see there is a vacuum, robo vacuum that vacuums and mops our floors these days. That is also connected to the internet. You have your own tablets, you have your thermostats, so many gadgets, like even washing machines are getting internet connection these days. Microwave, fridge, smart home. The concept of smart home is this. So yeah, networking is like in your house. You live within a living computer network. When you go to office, you live in a computer network. When you are at home, you are in a computer network. And even when you are just driving outside, you are in a computer network. All these mobile towers that give you access to mobile phone and you can make a call, there is networking at use behind the scenes. And now, as you all know about the company called SpaceX, that gives you internet in remote areas. You can be in a desert, you can be in a mountain, you could be in a jungle, and through satellite technology, you will get internet. So all good to this point. If anyone have any question or any thought, please feel free to share. All right. So now I am going to a bit of technical part, but I will try to explain this as possible as much as I can in plain English, right? I will try to avoid, because this is a fundamental introduction topic, I will try to avoid using too many buzzwords or hard words, right? So I will try to speak as much plain English as I can, but you will gonna see some technical words on the screen. So if you are entirely new to computer networking, please do not get confused. Please do not get scared. I will try to help you understand this. Okay, now the very basic concept in computer network is the concept of a server, as you can see on the right side of my screen, and a server machine. Sorry, let me go back. Yep. So the concept of a server machine and a client. When you open a YouTube app on your mobile, Your mobile is the client, and the YouTube server, YouTube computers on which the video is stored, is the server. Right now, you are in a Zoom call, right? Your computer, your mobile phone, your laptop is a client, and the computers, the server machines that Zoom, the company that provides you the Zoom technology, they are the servers. My computer is also a client. So my video and my audio goes to the server at Zoom company, and then the Zoom distributes it to all of you. And that is how you all can see my video and hear to my voice. So the client and server concept is the very oldest and the very beginning concept in computer networking. There's always going to be a client and a server. All good. Some of the other examples that you use in the sorry, let me present again. Yep. Uh, I guess my screen sharing stopped. All right. So yeah. So the concept of server and a client is the oldest, the beginning concept. Some of the very common servers that you use, everyone in class here you would use is email server, right? Your mobile or your browser where you open your Gmail or your Yahoo Mail or Microsoft Mail is a client, and the machines where the emails are actually stored, that is the email server. Web server is the same way. When you go to YouTube, that is the website. The content is stored on a web server. And then there is another mod which is called peer-to-peer, in which no one is a server or a client, but they're both acting as a peer. Like if any one of you have transferred uh, your photos from one of your mobile phone to your friend's mobile phone, that use is a peer-to-peer model, right? So you use Bluetooth technology, and then one peer is interacting with another peer, right? Or if you work in an office in which you have multiple computers, those computers can like share files with each other. That is a peer-to-peer model. So these are the two most common models: a client and server model, and a peer-to-peer model in a computer networking. And we have this word that we call end device in a computer network. An end device is the devices that you usually engage with. So if you allow me, and what I can do is I can change the slide view, and I can okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly open a web browser. You can see my web browser.
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. So I'm just going to quickly show you these devices. So these devices are called network switches, right? If you work in a office, there is probably a switch somewhere in that office. It could be as small as like this one, it could be as big as this one. But this is not an end user device. You don't go into an office and you work on a switch, right? Or if we talk about the Wi-Fi router, right? Everyone have a Wi-Fi router at their home. But do you go to your home and you engage with the Wi-Fi router? No, you engage with your mobile phone, right? So that is the concept we are talking about here, that the devices that the user engage with is called the end user devices. But there are other devices that make this possible. In your home, you have a Wi-Fi router. you, your wife, your kids, everyone is on their mobile phone. But how everyone is getting internet on their mobile phone? The Wi-Fi router is making it possible. So that layer of device is called the second layer, which provides connectivity to the end user devices. So these are some basic concepts in computer networking. Usually, when we say end device, that means the device that humans directly engage with, the laptop, the computer, or the mobile phone. And then there are these intermediary network devices, like we just discussed. Your Wi-Fi router is the intermediary, right? This is what provides you your laptops and your mobile phones, the internet that you then use to access YouTube, access your email. You can use to access the Zoom networking, Zoom class for your learning. And other than that, we have then, if you go back from intermediary, then that is your internet provider. Like your ISP drops some cable at your home that then you connect into your Wi-Fi router. So that is the backend internet. But usually in networking, when we say end device, that means your mobile, laptop, and tablet. And when we say intermediary, that means these network devices like switches and routers. All right. Now, network media, I just gave you an example of you transferring your photos to your friend's mobile, right? What medium did you use in that usually? Can anyone guess? Anyone want to unmute and share? So if you and your friend went on a picnic and then you came back and you shared the picture in your mobile to your friend's mobile, what is the network medium you are using? It's wireless, of course, right? It's not wired. What is that? What is that wireless kind? We know that. Anyone wants to share in chat or on mic? So it is called Bluetooth, right? So it's an old technology we have, and we do share images and media using Bluetooth. So how does Bluetooth work? It is a wireless signal, right? The same way we have many kinds of wireless technologies. The one that Wi-Fi router uses is another kind. Bluetooth is another kind, right? And then we have your mobile phone, the GSM signals that you may call, that is another kind. So there are many kinds of wireless technologies, but all of them are in network media. And other than wireless, we have wired media, in which a cable is plugged into your computer and then you connect through that. So other than wireless, if I show you Ethernet cable, so cables like these plugs into the computer, and they plugs into a switch, and that is how you connect. Like you, there used to be such ports in laptops, but these days slim laptops don't have much ports. So this is the concept that we call network media. So yes, all these small computers, handheld computers, large computers, they talk to each other, and to communicate, they use a medium, and that medium can be either wireless or they can be a wired medium. Fiber optic is another way. Now, any question to this point? Please feel free to use the chat or unmute and ask the question. Again, I'll try my best to do not use encrypted language, use plain English, and help you understand the concept, because this is a beginner level class. Okay, now we just talked about these three sections. We have, as you can see in the image, we have an end devices, laptops, IP phone, computers, printers, and then we have intermediary devices, a switch, a wireless router, and then we have network media, which can be wireless or it can be wired. Now, when you work in a proper office, or in an IT team, or in a network team, you are often asked to to visualize or draw a diagram of your computer. The first picture I showed you, this is kind of a diagram also. But this is because this is wireless, it's not easy, but still you can see that the tablet in this person's hand uh, is has a Wi-Fi adapter in it, and that Wi-Fi adapter is connecting the tablet to the Wi-Fi router. There is a Wi-Fi adapter in the fridge, it's connecting it to the Wi-Fi router. There is a Wi-Fi adapter in the TV, it's connecting it to the Wi-Fi router. There is a Wi-Fi adapter in that robo vacuum on the floor, and that is connecting into to the router. The same way, we can also in an office network, when we use wires, all those wires then come out of your printer, your laptop, your desktop computer, and they go into a device, an intermediary device that we call a network switch. And when you start drawing that, that is called a network diagram or a topology diagram. So often IT teams or network teams in offices, they are required to create a network diagram and maintain it. So a new person or a different person can understand how the network in this office is built and is working. All right. Now, based on the usage, the purpose, and the size, there are different names we give to these networks. Like in your home, you have a small network. Everyone these days have a network at their home, right? Anyone who has a Wi-Fi router has a computer network at their home. And that you call a small office, a small home network. And then if you go to a small or medium-sized company where like 20, 40, 50 people work and you all have computers and you access internet, that size of network is usually called a SOHO, small office, home office network. And then if you work in a large company where like more than 100 people work, you're going to have multiple switches in that environment, and they're going to be 100 or 300 computers. So that would be a medium to large network. And then if you think of your entire city, where there are hundreds of companies and like thousands of homes, and that will become a large citywide metropolitan network. So, and when people build skills to work in computer networks, they usually start with a small office network, but then they learn, they give take certifications, they take trainings, and those trainings enable them and train them on teach and the trainings teach them, okay, now how a large network works, what are the technologies used in a large network, and how you can be a network engineer in a large network. So the first most common word in networking we use is LAN and WAN. LAN is a local network. If the network in your home, the Wi-Fi router is a LAN. It is creating a LAN, local area network. When you go to your office where there are like 40, 50, 100, 300 people, that network is a LAN network, right? But think of your ISP, your internet service provider. The ISP that distributes internet to thousands of homes and hundreds of offices, that network is called WAN network. So you have that is part of the wide area network, and then that connects to the global internet. There are like thousands and thousands of ISPs across the globe in every country, in every city, and that they all become part of the WAN that we also call internet. So this is some keywords that if someone uses, you would know that, okay, if someone says LAN, that means a local network within a large office, a small office, or a home. If someone says WAN, wide area network, that means the ISP scale of network, right? The network that connects your entire city, your entire country to another country. And that is the internet. So when we think of that scale, which is like a wide area network of a scale of a country or entire continent, like entire Africa, entire Europe, and the entire world, that is what we call the internet. So an internet is actually a collection of hundreds of thousands of vans and maybe millions of lands. They all come together to become internet. I saw someone raising a hand. Do anyone have a question? And please feel free to unmute and just say excuse me or hello, and then I will know that someone have a question. All right. There is another word that you might have heard is it's called intranet. So there is a word internet and there is a word intranet. So intranet is sometimes what happens is when you work in a large company, that company have a website, but that website is only accessible within that company's network. So they will create a local website. In that website, they will have their HR policies, the leaves policy, your conduct policy. If you want to ask for a new computer, what is the policy on that? If you ask for a leave, and if there are company events. So anything the company wants to share with the employee, they put on a website, and that website is only available inside the company, and that is what we call intranet. So it is like it's actually the local area network of that business, but we also call that intranet. Yes, Sonal, please ask your question.
Yes. Good morning, Professor. Good morning, everyone. Um, yes, Professor. As you are talking about the efficiency of internet, so I've been dealing with a problem, internet issue. So though I am living on the top of the hill and close to a sea, but I still dealing, facing internet problem. So how much speed a home internet should be?
Oh, so
Because it's
yeah, that's a good question.
cheap in, cheap out, cheap in, cheap out.
Yeah, so that is a good question. But to be honest, the answer is like uh, it's an infrastructure question, right? So someone can say, I live in this small town, and the road that goes to my town is a very small road and it's broken. Um, how big a road should be to a town? Well, that is a question of infrastructure. uh, what is the budget of the companies, the internet companies working in your city? What is the budget of your city itself, right? Cities that have more budget, have more money, they spend money on putting wires like fiber optics, uh, which gives very high speed internet. Other cities around the world that have not that much budget, they use the telephone cables, so what we DSL internet, and some have. So this all depends on the economy of your country, of your city, the budget of your city, the internet service providers you have in your city, and how much they are investing. Like even in I live in Australia, and even in Australia, in some parts, even in Sydney, the main city, you don't get good internet. Why? Like I remember when I was living in a place, and I asked a company if you can give me fiber optic to my home. They came to do a survey, and there was literally a 5 feet distance that they have to put a wire, and they gave me a quote for like $5,000. So give us $5,000 and we put that just 5 feet cable, and then you will get high speed internet. And I didn't opt for that. So this is actually an infrastructure question. It all depends on, it can be as best, but it can be as worst, depends on how much money the city is spending in, how much money the service providers are spending in.
In terms of a private company, so you pay for the service. So for example, individually, the company come every month and you collect money.
Yes,
So
I do get that. Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off in interest of time. But again, it's again company to company, right? In some
okay,
cities,
all
companies
right.
will charge you money but still not give you service. This is a commercial discussion, not a networking discussion. So yeah, it depends.
Okay, all
Thanks,
right.
thanks on Santam. You have a question? Santam?
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity in this class. Normally, you have been talking about with the Bluetooth. In my side, is I custom to use Bluetooth across my tablets. My question is, I would like to know how many methods we can use Bluetooth between my tablets with my computers, normally without the router across the hotspot.
So hotspot is not Bluetooth. Hotspot is Wi-Fi, right? So the technology that Wi-Fi router uses, that is what we call a hotspot. When you turn on like your mobile phone and you turn on hotspot on your mobile phone, that is not Bluetooth, that is Wi-Fi. Now my mobile phone is acting as a Wi-Fi router and giving internet to my laptop or my tablet the same way Wi-Fi routers gives internet to my tablet. So hotspot is not Bluetooth. Bluetooth is slow. You cannot share good internet on Bluetooth. It's very slow. No one does share on internet on Bluetooth. Bluetooth is just for sharing small files from one device to another device. But it is a technology of the past.
Normally, is how many meters we can make the distance?
Oh, the distance again, because everything that is wireless, like when you are speaking to your friend, how much distance you can be from your friend, because after if you keep
Yes,
walking
yes.
away from your friend,
Now,
the
from
the
my
sound
computer
wave,
to my friend, imagine in this moment, as he like to talk with me, I can put my phone with the Bluetooth, or I can put my tablet with the
yeah,
hotspot. How many
yeah.
meters
Thank you.
we can
I'm
make that
gonna
distance
yeah,
between my friend
yeah. I'm gonna cut
together
you off. I got your
my
question.
computers?
Yeah, I got your question. Just let me answer that. So every wireless technology has a limit, right? Same way when we speak, the sound travels on the air, but it has limit. If we stand from like 10 feet away from our friends, they can still hear us. But if we go like 100 feet away, they will not hear us. Same way, Bluetooth waves, microwaves, GSM waves, Wi-Fi waves, every wave have a limit. So what you can do is you can go on Google and you can look at what is the limit. So you have to be under that limit. But again, if there are obstacles like you have walls in between, some people do what they put a Wi-Fi router in their home and there are walls all around. So the signals, when it tries to penetrate the wall, it loses the strength. So you have to keep think you need to think of two things. One, how much distance, and second, how many obstacles are in between. And that will help you understand how far you can be and how much you can do. Thanks, Santam. Ismail, you have next question?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Mr. Mustafa. Dr. Mustafa, I'm sorry.
Good
Actually,
morning, Ismail.
yeah, I want to chip in something before I ask my question. I would like you to proceed with the presentation to save time in order to complete the presentation because this will consume time, believe me. It will
Okay,
consume
then
time.
we will
Yeah.
take your comment at the end. If it's
So,
not a question,
actually,
you
I have a
can.
question, but I feel like waiting to the end of the presentation because we want the
All right,
comprehensive
sure.
presentation.
All
Yeah.
good, all good. Thank you.
So,
Thank you,
yeah.
Ismail. All right. So all good. My screen is still visible to you all. Now let's get back to the slides. And thanks for the questions. It really helps. All right. Now we were talking about the types of connections, and like I discussed, different cities have different infrastructure. Some cities has very high quality infrastructure. Cities like Dubai and other countries, they are talking about 5G and 6G, and everything would be Wi-Fi, wireless, and a very high speed. But the key technology that are used is cable, a DSL, cellular, satellite, and dial-up telephone. So dial-up is something that anyone in this class who is 40 years or more would remember. The dial-up modems we used to connect internet, and they were super slow. That was the old technology. Then we got cellular. When you use 3G, 4G on your mobile, that is a cellular technology. DSL is the telephone cable that comes to your home, and then you get DSL internet. Cable is other different cables you can use, like coaxial cable to provide internet, and satellite, like SpaceX technology a company is giving internet over the satellite. So yeah, so there are many different ways internet connection can be provided. Every method has a certain cost. So like depending on the budget of the city, the budget of the company providing internet, and situation of the infrastructure in the city, the companies will adopt for different methods. For businesses, usually the businesses get either a dedicated DSL, a dedicated lease line. It is just the same DSL, but with more bandwidth guaranteed, a higher bandwidth capacity. And they also go for satellite internet. So satellite internet is not a new thing. SpaceX hasn't invented satellite internet. It has been there for many decades. But previously, the size of the dish used to be very large, and now the size of the dish is shrinking. And now, like SpaceX dish is really like two hardly 1 feet or 2 feet big. Um, so again, different methods provide you different quality, different bandwidth, different speed. Now, the trends, some of the trends in networking, we have discussed that like social media, and this has really changed. Now people listen to podcasts, listen to music, watch videos, and that has changed the way networking equipment work. Bring your own device. People bring their own laptop, their tablets to their offices and connect to the office Wi-Fi. That's happened. Online collaboration, what we are just doing right now, is a new thing that was not here 15 years ago, right? But video calls are gaining more and more popularity. Now everyone uses video calls: Microsoft Teams, Skype, Google Hangout, Zoom. And this has changed, hugely impacted the field of networking, the video communication. Cloud computing is another trend. As all you all know, Microsoft Azure, Amazon has AWS, Google has GCP, there is Alibaba, and there is DigitalOcean, there is Rackspace. Like there are maybe 20, more than 20 cloud providers, but the biggest one are Azure, Amazon, and Google, that many people know about. Um, in interest of time, I will quickly skip through some of the details that you don't need right now. But again, in our home, the technology is advancing. Our fridge, refrigerators, robo vacuum, our cars, many things are starting to connect to internet. So there is a networking adopter in all of these devices. Wireless broadband is the common technology that we all use, and is again is an old technology. We get 4G internet, 5G internet, and some people only have 5G internet at their home. Like some of those wireless routers, they support SIM, so you can insert SIM in those wireless routers. And actually, there is no cable coming to your home. It's actually 4G or 5G internet. Then which then converts into Wi-Fi signals, and you use on your mobile, but the SIM, data SIM, is actually in that wireless router. Now, uh, if we have homes, we need to secure our homes. If we have networks, we need to secure our networks. If you have a laptop, you need to secure your laptop. If you have a mobile, you need to secure your mobile. That is why you put a PIN code on your mobile, right? Or you put a face lock on your mobile. Same way, every network also have threads. And then there are technologies that you use to protect your uh, your network. One of the key things that we do is we put a technology that we call a firewall. Firewall is a very common networking technology. What it does is it's like putting a security guard outside your home or outside your office. It will inspect, verify every person coming in and out of your building. So the same way, a firewall technology inspects your network and anything coming in your network and going out of your network. And it can protect your laptop, your tablet on your Wi-Fi network from attacks on the internet. And this is why the home Wi-Fi routers, by default, they will not let anything in. So sometimes what people do when they're working in IT, they say, I want to host a website on my home network. You cannot, because the home network by default blocks everything. So no one from the internet can come to your website if your website is hosted on your laptop. But in office networks, you get a dedicated public IP, and then public IPs and private IPs are not a topic for this class, but you need a public IP to host a website. So that is why you don't host your websites in your home Wi-Fi, right? Because it is blocking by default. You can go out, but people cannot come into your home network unless until they connect to your home network because they know the password of your Wi-Fi. So yeah, other security solutions we use in a network are antivirus and firewall. We have just talked about. All right, now the key part, the last and key part of our today's class. I will try to finish 5 minutes before the time, and then we can spend some 5-10 minutes. I'm happy to stay 5 minutes late, and then we can do some discussions and questions. There are two key protocols that I'm going to give you an understanding that play a huge role. Every one of you, before you join the class, you use these two protocols. You wouldn't be here in the class if you had not used these two protocols, but you just don't know. And now I'm going to explain to you what those are. The first is called DHCP. Anyone in this class who have a Wi-Fi router at home, they have a DHCP service running in their home. So what happens is, every time you turn on your tablet or you connect Wi-Fi, your device needs an IP address. And the process of your tablet or your mobile to get an IP address so it can talk to the Wi-Fi and internet is done through DHCP protocol, right? It is a very simple process. Like I said, I'm going to use plain English. I'm not going to use cryptic words to help you understand. So how does this actually happen? Let's talk about the process. The first step is discover. Whenever you turn on the Wi-Fi or your laptop or your computer sends out a broadcast, like it screams. Like if we say in an example, we'll say, is there anyone who can give me an IP? Like it actually screams on the Wi-Fi network or on the local network. And who listens that a call? Your Wi-Fi router. And then your Wi-Fi router responds and gives an offer that, hey, hello sir, hello mobile, hello tablet, I am the DSCP server in your home, and how can I help you? I can offer you. And then uh, in the third stage, and then you accept that and you acknowledge it, and the DSCP connection happens. Uh, it's discover, offer, request, and acknowledge. So these are the 4 stages. Every time you turn on a laptop, every time you turn on a computer in an office network in your home, this process happens always. Otherwise, your laptop, your tablet will not get internet connection. So DSCP is one very key protocol that is used to assign things an IP address. And what we can do in DSCP is we can also like limit IP addresses. We can map IP addresses. Like let's say you have a printer at your home. So can anyone tell me an IP address that is usually you get on your home Wi-Fi? It starts with 192.168, right? Must have seen that IP address, 192.168.5 dot something or 4 dot something, right? Okay. Now let's say you have a printer at your home, and Now you have to open the printer page because you want to see how much ink is left in the printer. And then you go and see what is the IP of the printer, what is the IP, and you will go to the printer, and then somehow you will find, oh, okay, so the IP is like, let me just add on the slide. We say the IP is 192.168.5.20. Okay, now everything is good, happy. You put that IP in your browser, it showed the page, and then you saw, okay, I have got some ink in the printer and I can do some printing. A week later, you need to print something again, and you are just curious, okay, how much ink is left? You went to this IP, and the printer is no more on this IP because this IP assignment is not fixed by default. Your printer went offline, you turned it off, the 20 IP no one was using, it got free up, and then your brother or your wife turned on her tablet, and the tablet went and said, can anyone give me an IP? And the Wi-Fi routers comes in and say, yes, I can give you an IP address. And the Wi-Fi routers looks at the list and say, huh, no one is using 5.20. I can give her 5.20, and then 5.20 is now the IP of your wife's tablet, and it's gonna stay the IP for like a couple days. And now you go back and see, okay, now what IP does the printer have? And then you find out that, oh, okay, now it's 5.36. So, and if you don't want to do this again and again, what you can do is you can go into your Wi-Fi router. Every Wi-Fi router in the world supports this, right? You can open your Wi-Fi router's application, and in there you can find the MAC address of your printer, and you can say, okay, the 5.20, this is now reserved for my printer. You cannot give it to anyone, not my laptop, not my kid's mobile phone, not my wife's tablet, or my other computer or laptop. No. So that way, the DSCP service in your Wi-Fi router reserve this IP for the printer. And now you have peace of mind. Every time the printer is turned on, it's gonna get 5.20 IP all the time. And I don't have to go look for the IP again and again. So this is some of the features of DSCP protocol. That was the first key protocol, and everyone uses that. If you don't have DSCP, you won't be in this class now. And you use it like, if you have 10 mobiles in your home, there are DSCP screens and offers going on like 50 times a day. Every time you turn on and off, there is a DSCP thing happening. Yes, Agnes, you have a question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please, I want to find out Zender that we use in sending bulky like photos, bulky something like photos and videos from one device to another, phones. Falls under which network? Zender.
Yeah. So what you want to know, when someone is sending
No,
videos?
I want to know which network it falls under.
Oh,
Zender.
right. Yes. So if you are in my home, let's say I invite you to my home, and my home I have my Wi-Fi router, and you ask, Mustafa, can you give me your Wi-Fi password? I give you my password. Now you are on my Wi-Fi, your mobile is on my Wi-Fi, my mobile is on my Wi-Fi, and when like we just came out from a picnic, and I say, Agnes, can you send me the picnic pictures? And when you send me the pictures will go through the Wi-Fi router. So we are using the Wi-Fi routers network, the wireless network, to send the pictures. So your pictures will go to the wireless router. The wireless router will send to my mobile. So that is what you will be using, the Wi-Fi. This is how everyone uses these days. I hope that answered the question. Um, okay, there's two questions in the chat. I'll quickly look at that. How do I speed up my network? Cause am having problem when I'm trying to access the shared drive on the network. It keeps on rotating for long periods. Is the problem network or the Windows software? So it could be the hard drive, uh, or it could be the network. But it's less the network, is more the device, because if network was the issue, it won't connect in the first place. But if you're able to connect but it keeps rotating, that means either the computer is too slow, right? You are using very old hard drive, the hard drive has bad sectors, or maybe the way you have set, let's say, what is the operating system on that computer? It is Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows XP, Windows 7, right? Maybe the way you set up the file share, there could be a problem in that. So yeah, that could be the reason. All right, now on to the last slide of our today's class. The next key protocol is DNS. And again, no one can do anything on the internet without using DNS. It's just that you don't know. And I'm also going to give you one tip that not many people use. No, but a lot of people suffer from slow internet. If you understand what I'm going to tell you now, maybe you can sometimes speed up your internet, get a faster internet, because it's not about your ISP, it is about your DNS. Let me tell you. So what is DNS? DNS is a phone directory, right? So if you need to call your niece or your boss, you pick up your phone and then you go to your contacts and you search for boss, right? If you need to call your uncle, Uncle Michael, you might not, we don't remember everyone's phone number, right? So what we do is we look for something that we as a human understand, that is a name. So we look for Uncle Michael in our mobile directory and then we click on it. What does the phone do? Does it call Uncle Michael? No, there is a number next to Uncle Michael's name. So in your phone contact list, every name is mapped to a number. And when you say call Uncle Michael, is actually calling that mobile number. And because you as a human cannot remember like how many contacts we have in our phones these days, more than 100 contacts, right? Can we remember more than 100 phone numbers? No, it's very hard, right? So the contacts app in our mobile phone does this translation from name to number. Exactly the same process happens in your computer. When you type www.youtube.com, it's not youtube.com that the site is running on. It's numeric, it's numbers, it's an IP address the site is running on. But the good thing is you don't have to remember the IP of every site. All you have to remember is the English, the human friendly name, www.youtube.com, www.facebook.com, www.gmail.com, right? And the protocol that does this translation for you is, ladies and gentlemen, the DNS protocol. And every one of us uses it 100 times a day, right? And I'm just going to quickly say, so this is your laptop and there is a DNS server. The first DNS server in your environment is your own Wi-Fi router. That is your DNS server. When you say, I want to go to YouTube, the first thing your computer do is, what is YouTube's IP address? And who it does ask? The DNS server. The DNS server then gives back the IP address and then you go to that IP address. And you know, the funny thing that happens, a lot of times people don't care what DNS server they are using. And a lot of times the default, let's say you have an ISP in your city called Jamaica ISP. Now that is a low budget ISP. They don't have the best hardware and they have a DNS server. And what's happening is the DNS server is pathetic. It's old, it's slow. Every time you say, let's every time you go to website and enter www.yahoo.com or gmail.com, you are now waiting 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second. Oh, now it starts loading. What was happening there? What was happening was you actually first ask your Jamaica ISP's DNS server, hey, can you give me the IP for gmail.com? And then you're waiting. Why? Because the DNS is slow. But once you get the IP, then the website starts loading fast because the internet is good. Internet is not bad. DNS is bad. So what people do is there are some free public DNS on the internet. It's one is called 1.1.1. If you go to Google and you say free fast DNS servers, it will usually tell you about these DNS servers, right? Uh, the first is 1.1.1.1. This is the fastest from Cloudflare, and then you have from Google. Google gives you 8.8.8.8 and these two. All you have to do is log into your Wi-Fi router, go to the network settings, kick out the DNS server of your local ISP. You don't need to use that. Put the DNS server of this 1.1.1 or the Google one, 8.8.8. You will see a significant boost in your internet speed, right? And yeah, that is one common trick. A lot of times the ISP DNS server is down and people think the internet is down. Internet is not down, right? And I have done this so many times for my friends. And when I will go to their home and they will say, "Ah, man, the internet is not working," and I'm gonna say, "Is internet not working or is your DNS not working?" And I will just go into their Wi-Fi routers. I will see, hey, they are using the default ISP DNS. I will change that to 1.1.1.1, and then like that, internet is back again. So DNS is a very key protocol that everyone uses, and a lot of time people suffer from slow internet. Now, remember this. If on entering a new website, the slowness is before the site starts loading, that means your DNS is slow. If you enter www.mustafaqasim.com and then you have to wait for 4 seconds before anything starts loading, that is your DNS. So if you face slow internet before the site starts loading, that is not slow internet, that is slow DNS. So you can change that by improving the DNS. Okay, now I'm gonna be done with my lecture and I'm gonna now open the floor, and I'm more than happy to stay 10 minutes more late and happy to take as many questions as you want to ask me in next 10 minutes. How about
Thank you,
that?
Mustafa. We can allow 5 minutes of questions. Let's go with Ismail.
Yeah, Ismail.
Yeah, Dr. Mustafa, never mind the way I spoke the other time. I just want situation whereby we cover the comprehensive presentation. So for the benefit of all of us, that's it. I just spoke on our behalf. Now, my question is on networking. Let me put it this way. It's on network security. Now, this is a question. I'm sorry for the side noise. The question is this, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Will you keep quiet? Keep quiet. Please, quiet. I'm sorry. Please. Oh,
No worries.
It's okay.
We are
So
not
this is
hearing
the
any noise.
question.
We are
Yeah,
not hearing any noise. You don't have to worry, and let the kids make
they are
noise. That's
they
what
are
kids do.
they are
Don't
troubling him. That is why. Yeah, yeah, someone is troubling him. That is why. Let me go straightly to the question. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone and
No
to the
worries.
school.
No worries.
Sorry.
It's my
Yeah, the
all good.
question is this. By examining the role of human factors in network security breaches, how can organizations mitigate risks associated with social engineering attacks?
Yeah. So social engineering, let me explain for if rest of the people don't know what is social engineering. Engineering is just making someone fool. It's the oldest attack even before we have computers, right? Someone comes, like it happens every day, right? People buy fake phones. Someone will sell you something which is not true. So this is making someone fool is called social engineering. I come to you and say, hey, I want to sell you a phone. This is, I am very emergency. I have medical emergency. I need money, blah, blah, blah. And then you look at that and you say, yeah, it's a good phone. And in the last minute, when you are about to give me money, I will switch that with a dummy plastic phone. And then I'll run away. And that is so social engineering is like triggering people's emotions, like greed, making them greedy, making them afraid that they're going to lose something, it's a good deal, or making them confused, and then taking benefit of them in a wrong way, right? So uh, to protect against social engineering, man, all you have to do is educate yourself, right? Everyone in this call have an uncle in their family or an auntie who were scammed
Oh, yes, calm.
recently,
Yes,
right?
the word.
And if you think about that, why they were scammed? Because they were innocent. They didn't know that people use these tactics to scam people, right? So the biggest protection against social engineering is keep talking, keep telling people. If you are a company, keep telling your employees that, hey, this is how now people are scamming other people. This is how people are scamming other people's, right? People there is a very common scam going on for many years now, is where someone will send you an email and say, Mustafa, I am a hacker, I have hacked your computer and you are doing something indecent, I have your videos and give me money, otherwise I'm gonna send those videos to your friends. That is a scam, right? So yeah, so the way to protect against that is education and awareness, and that works not only in technology, in non-technology scams too. Educate your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, your young kids in your family to not fall for these scams. And yep, that is the protection. Thanks, Ismail. That was a really awesome and really good question.
You're
Thank
welcome. Thank you,
you.
sir. I'm grateful.
We can answer two more questions. Let's go with Boto and then Chiamancho.
Good day to everyone. Thank you so much, Mustafa. Your presentation is really yummy. Yes, I must commend you. What it's just a few questions. One it just joined into one. Um, if I have a service provider for which I have taken internet service at my home, and I realize that my my service is burning or my internet is burning so fast more than I consume it, and I realize that somebody else might be using my internet system, and also my camera will have similar problem as like somebody is watching on me. So contacted the service provider, and the service provider changed the password, but yet and still that keep going on and on. I wanted to know what can be the remedy to that, what can be the solution to that problem. And secondly, if you're using seashell in your office, your computer is being used as a source where other people can feed on or information. So what if your computer has been bugged? How do you determine or how do you know that your computer is being bugged?
Yes. So thanks, Bodo. That's a very good question. And the way I would answer that is this is a very common challenge. In my own family, there are like old peoples who have like these very sophisticated advanced phone in their hand, but they don't understand technology very much, right? The same thing happens with computers. Yes, we use computers, but we're not and not everyone is expert at computer. Like everyone drives a car, but can everyone fix a car? No, they are not mechanic, right? They don't not everyone is expert at fixing car. The same way, the same problem is with technology. Everyone is a user of technology, but not everyone is a master or a mechanic or a technician of technology. So if anyone have such concern, they must need to consult someone who is more experienced, who knows how to look into the details of your mobile phone, your device configuration, to see if there is a malware, if someone is spying on you, and or why it is slow. So that is my advice, that you must need to do this. Otherwise, people have been affecting by, and the very common reason is we are a user of technology. Not everyone is an expert. So please find an expert in your family, in the market, and talk to them and get help. That is the right way in this situation. Thanks, Bodo. The next is
Thank
Amancho.
you so much.
Camancho, can you go ahead, please?
All right, thank you very much, Doctor, and good afternoon to everyone. It's good morning, sorry. Yeah, my
I'm really sorry. I guess I was trying to
And he unmutes himself.
yeah.
all right,
Sorry.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for the elaborate presentation. Can you get me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. Assuming that all of us in here are students who are interested in the practical aspect of computer networking. How can you network? How many computers can be networked? Let's say across an office, like working in the same office space, the whole building. How many computers can be networked such that every computer is connected to the central system? Let's assume that maybe in the general manager or director's office.
Yes.
And secondly, is it possible that a network can be put in place such that all computers in a particular country are connected to the capital city? Let's say maybe at the level of the ministry where it has regional offices,
Yes.
subdivisional right down in an entire country,
Yes.
such that
Thanks.
as they carry out their task for the day, at the end of the day, they can submit data or maybe reports
Yeah,
and everything, and it goes straight to the
Amancho.
central.
Yeah, thanks, Amancho. I got your two questions. Let me try to answer them. So one, I would say if anyone is interested in learning computers practically and they're very beginner, I will say start with the Wi-Fi router at your home. You can learn so much about networking by just trying to understand how that Wi-Fi router is working, how the DHCP leads, how it gives IP to your mobile, how you can do static IP, how the DNS works. Just go into your Wi-Fi routers and say that I want to learn everything that is in it. If you just start from there, you will learn so much about networking that can also get you a job. Second, how many networks you can connect in a network? It is same like if I tell you, if you look at your home and you say how many water taps I can put in the kitchen or in my home. Can I put 100 water taps? Yes, you can put your 100 water taps, but it's the same infrastructure question. I will ask you is, what is the capacity of the pipe coming from your water tank to your home? Is it like a 2-inch pipe, or is it 1-inch pipe, or is it like 10-inch pipe, right? If it's the 1-inch pipe going through your home to your washroom to your kitchen to your other rooms to your laundry, and if you put like 20 taps on that small pipe, how much water are you going to get out of those 20 taps, right? So if you want to have 100 taps in a big villa or a building, you need to put big pipes in the walls, right? The same way, you can connect as many computers as you want. You can connect up to 1,000 computers in an office, up to 10,000 computers. All you need is provide the infrastructure for those computers. It is same as how many cars you can put on the roads. Yes, you can put 1,000,000 cars on your roads, but you need to have every road should be have 5 or 6 lanes, right? And then you can have 1,000,000 road cars in your city. So the infrastructure needs, you need to provide the infrastructure for that. Second, your second question was, can we have a direct link between my remote office and the office in my capital city? Yes, of course you can. Again, the point is infrastructure, right? If you look at how the postal services work, like you have heard of FedEx, UPS, you will have your own version. If you want to send like this cup to your friend in another city, you go to your FedEx, your service provider, the postal service, and you will see the service provider have their own dedicated trucks. And the big providers like UPS and FedEx, they have their own planes. Their planes do not carry people. Their planes carry the stuff, the garments, the packages the gifts that people send to each other, the mails people send to each other, right? That is the same concept. What you need then is a dedicated connection between your remote office and your capital city. So if I have, let's say, I do not know what city you are in, but I'm gonna use some random names, right? So I am in a country, and like India, and in India, Mumbai is one city, Delhi is another city, my head office is in Mumbai, my branch office is in Delhi, and I want a high speed direct connection. I will go and look for internet service providers. I will go, and there's a service provider, Jamaica Internet. And I'll say, Jamaica Internet, can you give me a high speed link between my office in Delhi and Mumbai? And Jamaica says, yes, sir, we can. We have infrastructure in Delhi, we have infrastructure in Mumbai, and if you pay us like $500 a month, we can give you a dedicated high speed connection between your two offices, right? So yes, it is possible. Again, the question is infrastructure. For that, you need to go and talk to your internet service provider and ask them, because they will have the infrastructure, not you, right? And they will tell you if they have a high speed. So they have an office in your branch city, they will give you a high speed line to your office. They have an office in the main city, they will give a high speed line to your head office. And between their offices, they have high speed connections anyway, because they are a service provider, right? And that way you will have a direct line using that Jamaica ISP or whatever ABC ISP between your head office and your branch office. So that is how you would secure it. um, do you have time to take the last question from Hussein? Um,
We
Anatola?
ran past the time actually. Um, we can allow one more question and then we can go.
Last one, Hussein. Muhammad Hussein. You can unmute. You are still mute, Hussein. I have asked you to unmute. Yep.
Hello,
You are.
sir.
Hey.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. How, sir? How the hacker hack the hack computer, and how can we prevent the hacking?
Yeah. Okay. Good question. Thanks for asking. Um, it is before I give you example of again computers. Have you seen how people pick pockets?
Yes.
Have you seen how people break into secure offices and steal stuff from secure offices? They have different tools, they have methods, they have techniques, right? So it is the same mindset, right? The only difference is now, instead of breaking into a building, you are breaking into a technology, right? So all you have to learn is that technology. Real life criminals who specialize in breaking into safe, like the big thick safe you put in a house to keep the money and gold, right? Can anyone hack the safe? No, you need to learn how to hack a safe, right? There is an entire method that goes. If you want to learn how to pick locks, lock picking is a very famous activity in many cybersecurity conferences, right? But if you want to learn how to pick a lock, there is an entire method, there is an entire process. You learn how the first thing you learn is how the lock works, and then you learn how can I unlock this lock? So the same approach is used in computers. If you want to learn how people hack computers, the first thing you have to learn is how computers work. The same way you learn how a lock works or how a safe works, right? And all that. So the approach is you have to understand how the computer works in a much more depth. Again, the example of lock, every one of us have used a lock. But do every one of us know how a lock works? No, we are not locksmith, right? So, but if you want to learn how to pick a lock, how to open a lock without having a key, you have to go one step ahead from being a consumer or a user of a lock. Now you have to understand how actually a lock works, and then you will learn how to pick a lock. So to hacking, we have to go one step ahead, see how computers work, how networks work, and then you will learn how you can how malwares hack a computer, how exploits hack a computer, how vulnerabilities work. So yeah, that is the approach. There are many courses, there are many programs in it, there are many labs, but what I am telling you is that the direction, the general direction, that hey, anyone interested in learning how hacking works need to go in this direction, and that direction is learn how computers work in as much detail as you can. Did it help?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you,
everyone.
Mustafa. Thank you, everyone. Remember that we have a class at the same hour every day. So please take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. And the slides are in the
Okay.
chat. You can get the
Thank
slide from the
you.
chat. Thank you. Good evening, good morning,
Bye
good
bye.
night, everyone. Have a